right. Um,
So
I
you
come
believe that?
across.
So it sounds like you're saying you prioritize moral goodness, but not necessarily that the God does.
No, I said that I do. So I disagree that God. It said God doesn't
Right, and
prioritize. So I said I disagree with
right,
that
but
meaning. So I
right, but
agree. Mm-hmm. But
right, but you're saying that, and you're disagreeing with that. You're saying that you think he does prioritize moral goodness, but you're talking about what you do, right?
no,
What humans
no,
do.
my so my statement is that God does expect for us to prioritize moral goodness. Is what I'm saying.
Right,
It is expecting of
I
us.
get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, while you're saying that you believe that the God does prioritize moral goodness, you're saying humans are expected to be good, right? But that's not the God
Yes, I
prioritizing it. That's humans prioritizing it.
no, no. What I'm saying is that God says that we should prioritize it, and He does prioritize it as well. It is in us to be good. That is why when a person is doing things that are bad, it's conflicting and messes with them mentally, um, in so many different capacities.
So
Because, it's, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
So in this Bible, when you know, the people who are God's chosen does things that are not necessarily morally good, um, it doesn't mess with them mentally, and then the God overlooks it.
You know what? What's your name?
Thinker, you don't know whose live you're on?
I didn't get your name. No, I didn't get your name. Honestly, I'm having a hard time seeing um, everything on the screen for some reason. It's not really. I think it's just a little bit too small for me. But again, okay. So I see at the top it says thinker. But what is your name, if you don't mind sharing?
I do mind
I
sharing.
didn't know it was.
Yeah,
Oh,
why
okay.
would I tell you
So what do
my
you?
name?
So I'm not asking you government name. How would you like for me to address you? How about
The
that?
name Thinker that's on the screen.
Okay, that's all right, thinker. Um, so thinker, I didn't know um that the Bible would be brought into this conversation
You
until
didn't
just
know that the
now.
Bible would be brought
I
into a
did just
conversation about the God of the Bible?
so I just now came on your live, and
Why did you
as
come
we all
on?
know, so I was scrolling and I came on here because I seen uh, a face that looked familiar.
The fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Whose face
You
is
will
Seeing a
never just
face
see
that
my
I
look
want to
person. You
know.
see
familiar.
me
Whose
personally.
face?
I don't know
Could you
what the
tell us
fuck.
whose face it was?
There's
Because I
I,
want to
freaking.
know.
I don't know. What the fuck was she talking about?
It's because your backup account looked like Coretta Scott King. That's what she thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
I think she just wanted to talk.
That sounds about right.
The hell?
Oh, we're talking about the Bible? Okay.
She said, I didn't know the Bible was going to be brought in
We
this,
brought it
but
to.
God, what?
Oh my goodness. That was a little weird.
I don't know why she thought I was just going to sit there and let her talk.
Mm-mm-mm.
Y'all, I done grinded my stuff too. You know when you grind too much, you're not supposed to grind too much. And then I grinded.
So what is this? What is this
Shut up. You
Antichrist?
hear me
Hold
talking,
The
on.
hell is wrong with
I'm gonna
y'all?
tell a motherfucking
So
issue I got.
Man,
rude.
stop and wait. Like, I'm going to drop you. Just
You
wait
fucking
until
hear
you're
me.
introduced. What the fuck?
This
Negative karma energy.
Shut up.
Uh-uh.
God damn.
Like I was saying, y'all, don't grind too much. You don't want to grind all the way. You want just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like powdery. Don't do that.
What were you grinding?
Uh,
What are you
Never
grinding?
mind.
Like a
Thank you.
skateboard
Huh?
or your teeth?
Oh, my gosh.
What are
Damn,
you grabbing?
is this how it be in the middle of the day? What the fuck, bro?
Are you talking about coffee beans?
Yes.
Shut up, Osta.
hmm hmm
So many different things you can grind. I was just curious.
I know what it's called, and they sell it at the dispensaries. They actually sell shake at the dispensary. Who the fuck is smoking shake? Why are you
What
buying
shake?
shake?
Oh, you gotta sprinkle shake on a bowl. You can't like
Nah, some people do too
Dang.
much with
What the
that.
fuck is
Nah,
shake?
it's
shake is the
literally like
remnants.
grounded all the way to like powder, like low key. It's so I
What
don't
do
like
you
shake.
do with it?
People use it to
Falls off the
coat
plant, dumbass.
the
Get the
people
fuck off
use
my
it.
panel,
Shut
No,
stupid
up,
get
bitch.
out.
bitch.
Goodbye. Like you getting on my nerves.
Dumbass
People use
fuck.
it to like, you know, some people use it to coat the actual like thing, right? They roll it up with the thing in it, and then they add an extra on the outside. Does that make
Really
sense?
nice.
Yeah. So they kind of like coat the thing with
Hey,
the shake. So it's like times 10. Yeah.
Mm.
You gotta be a delusional ass motherfucker to keep hitting requests thinking I'm gonna bring your dumb ass back up here. Stupid motherfucker. I'm not bringing your bitch ass back up. Make your God make me bring you back up.
Not okay. I don't understand how
Stupid
you ask
dumbass
for that
fuck.
and then
You are a delusional motherfucker. You just gonna sit there and keep hitting requests, you dumb fuck?
it's that entitlement that God gives them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
No.
that dude from
You
yesterday.
are you are just pathetic as fuck. Like if somebody tells you that they don't want your ass around, don't fucking come around. The fuck is wrong with you?
You're not even saying nothing for real. You can't shut up for 2 seconds for people to talk, and you think somebody's gonna bring you back up here?
He's a dummy.
Right.
Like who the fuck would do that? Like that just says I'm a fucking dumbass.
He can sit in there.
I blocked his dumbass.
He'll probably
Like
come back under another account.
here's the crazy thing though. Like you keep hitting request. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like what makes you think that I'm going to accept your request? Like why the fuck would you keep hitting request?
That's how they act in real life. Like how dare you not let me talk to you? That's how they act in real
Right.
life.
That's some delusional shit.
How dare you not grant me access to yourself? You know
Mm-hmm.
who I am?
I'm a child of God.
I just don't right, it's crazy. Like the I don't understand the logic behind let me get back in her request box. How you gonna make me
After
accept
I
you,
just
bitch?
disrespected you.
Not even that. Like, how are you gonna make me accept you? Like, just hitting request doesn't automatically get you on stage. Like, I don't understand the logic behind that. It'd be different if I didn't have to accept his request. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I could understand him hitting request again because he's bogarting. He can't even fucking bogart his way on stage. That's what I don't understand.
Don't forget that you're talking to the people that believe in an imaginary afterlife and an imaginary God and imaginary spirits and an imaginary heaven. So, tracks.
What
Everything's January 6th if you try hard enough. Storm the stage. Let's go.
what's up, Deja?
Hi, how are you doing? Thank you.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I actually wanted to pick number one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I think I heard a little bit of what number one was earlier when you said it was, but I wanted to clarify. Is it pretty much um people holding them accountable and them having the right not to be held accountable? I'm a bit confused on what it was.
So right now, President Trump issued an executive order to create a task force to stop anti-Christian bias. And I just want to know what the fuck anti-Christian bias is.
He
Probably
said,
to about 2 or 3. And then I'm gonna take a break, and then we'll be back later on tonight at our regular schedule. But I'll be on to probably about 2 or 3 today. Anti-Christian bias. He's building a task force to go after anti-Christian bias, and I don't know what the fuck that is because I don't see anti-Christian bias.
Yeah, I see like it's like they're biased and hateful and uninclusive to everybody in the community, and they literally use their Bible to put into what's that called? Put things into politics that pretty much take away people's rights and use the Bible to do it, even though we're supposed to have separate religion and state. But somehow here we are. But the Christians are the ones that are having anti-Christian. But like I'm confused. I'm so confused.
So you're thinking of it right. You're just confused as we are because we're trying to figure out how the fuck they're able to claim anti-Christian bias when most of the hatred is thrown our way for not believing in their God. And it's like we're being told because you won't let me infiltrate your space, you won't let me treat you the way I want to treat you, you won't think the way I want you to think, and because you don't like it, you're biased towards Christians. You don't believe in my God, you're biased towards Christians. You question my faith, you're biased towards Christians. That's basically what they're saying. But what they're actually claiming is persecution.
While in the same breath persecuting every group of people they can get their hands on, literally.
Yep.
So I woke up this morning and there was this guy from Venezuela, and before he had gotten into office, Biden had this thing where, Venezuelans can come here and have safety, you know what I'm saying, like from the crazy things that was happening in Venezuela. So the guy had got here, I want to say January 19th is when he, arrived in the US so he can be a part of that. And on January 20th, Trump took it back out of office so Venezuelans would, get deported. They would no longer have a safe space to be at, away from all the craziness. So this guy, he has no connection to, no connection to gang members or anything like that. He has no criminal background. He's just a regular person who wanted to be safe or, to feel safe. So I guess he was expecting to get deported back to Venezuela, but instead, during this time he was keeping in contact with his family. So his family found out that he was getting sent to what is that jail called? I don't know. I was just talking to Christina about
Guantanamo
this.
Bay.
He had there was pictures of him getting sent to Guantanamo Bay, and that's how his family found out because of
Wow.
pictures, and had no idea where their family member was, but some pictures came on there. Oh, that's our family member, and he had a picture, I guess, of a Jordan tattoo on his neck, like a little Jordan symbol, like Jordan and stuff like that, and they were like, oh, well, that tattoo is associated with the gang, but it wasn't.
Yeah, they're lying. A judge blocked um them from sending some that supposedly fit the description,
Hmm.
but they weren't sure, and they were just going to ship them there, not being sure, not knowing anything. They were going to ship them there. So I guarantee you, before it's all said and done, there's going to be plenty of them there that aren't, they hadn't committed a crime. They're not a part of a gang. Just regular people fleeing actual persecution.
I feel like they're building up their slave labor.
They are.
That's what I feel like they're doing.
Yeah,
And
same.
that's so sad because it's like
Oh, they absolutely are.
it's like these people, like I can only imagine waking up one day thinking I'm about to live a regular day, possibly go to work or feed my kids or whatever the case may be, just to be taken by ICE or whoever and shipped off to a giant jail with no freedom, no way of getting back to my family, no way like, and I can only imagine like I feel like their rights probably aren't even being like I feel like their rights are being violated while they're there. Like, well, their rights were violated before they even got there, but
Hold on. Also, is this a backup account of yours that's in the guest request? Also,
Now,
are are you in the guest request as a backup account?
I most certainly am not.
Are you
My
sure?
backup is Elo Ray Jr. and then my troll is in the no out the mix.
When you bring them up, make them talk at the same time. That's how we know.
Yep.
Who's glitch out
uh,
TikTok?
also can't be trusted.
Because
I
the
promise you,
name
I'm
on
not.
the account is oh so real.
Oh, I think that's Dugal's backup, right?
What? Do
Said
God?
he said he was gonna make a backup or a fake one named though, so real.
Oh, I hope not because I don't like y'all know I don't like that. I don't like people to come up here and play on the stage. So please don't do that.
If it's Paul, I feel like he would have said something by now.
In the
He
comments?
would have said something. Yeah, he would have said something in the comments.
Unless
Oh,
he's afraid now. Ooh,
it ain't nothing to be
scary.
afraid of. I just don't like that. Sorry, delusional. Deja, go ahead.
Oh man. But that's why I it makes me sad to know that my dad voted for this person or my family members voted for this because
Venezuela voted for this. The rally that Venezuela had for Trump. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't think any other people were as open as they were for their support for Trump. And I mean, at the end of the day, it all lies in exceptionalism, right? All these people thought that they were going to be, the exception. They all thought somehow it was only going to affect black people. They thought it was only going to be black people going through this shit. So at the end of the day, let's sit down and watch what the fuck y'all chose.
going they in there fucking around to find out stage. It's just sad that the people who didn't vote for this have to deal with it as well. And it's like,
Exactly. They don't care about nobody else. The fact that they put that man in office, they thought they were going to get perks from that. And now they see that now everybody is suffering, especially them. And now we're supposed to rally around and help them out. Okay.
mhm, especially black women, because black women have always been at the forefront of these things, and now they're just like, listen, we need a break. Y'all have fun. We're just gonna make sure that at the end of the day that we put our money towards our own community or towards people who aren't taking a DEI out of their name and make sure that when stuff hits the fan that we're okay. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah, I wish people like when these things happen to black people, everybody is just like, oh,
Quiet.
that's just the culture and that's just what happens. Like literally till today, we are still going through genocide on genocide on genocide. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's not liberation for everybody, then black people need to sit their ass down.
I think at the beginning of Gaza, I was hearing a lot of stuff about Syria, but no one was speaking about Syria. They were only speaking about Gaza. It's like when it's black skin, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And even the war going on in Tigray, if you look at all the news, you don't see people that look like you, but the people that are suffering the most are the ones that look like us. The ones that are actually getting slaughtered and massacred are the ones that look like us. But somehow the ones that are on TV just keep getting shown over and over and over and over again. Maybe think about that.
That's really only because
They don't care.
they don't care at all. It don't concern them. And I hate this. I really do hate this whole immigration thing because first of all, it's like everybody forgot that one, Mexico was like a giant part of the U.S. before the U.S. territory came in and took that over. First of all, second
Yep.
of all, this wasn't their land to begin with. So you over here pointing one finger and got like five fingers pointed back at you. And
Did
then if
you
you're gonna
Dude, did
Uh,
you see that he tried to make Native Americans like go through like a whole naturalization process? It was like they don't get birthright citizenship anymore. If
I did see
anybody
that.
gonna get birthright citizenship, I think it's the Native American.
Right.
I agree. Like,
He's
and
had
there's a
three
difference
judges
between
block
that.
that though.
Like, but that's
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
those
why would
judges. I
you
want
put
them to
that up
be.
there? You know how much like
Because they're trying to
you know
fearmonger. That's all
that's
they're trying to
Yeah,
dumb.
do.
He's always hated Native Americans though,
he's such a hateful person.
because
He,
when he was trying to get his casino started,
mm,
I
you
want to
know,
make sure that
they
we don't turn this
Yeah.
into a Trump
Oh
conversation.
yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
Hmm.
sorry.
y'all know how much I hate that too. Like,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
Yeah.
like tie it to what they're doing with the how they're using the indoctrination to get these things done. But like, I don't want to just talk about his ugly ass. I don't. I cannot
Okay.
stand that man.
Yeah, I can't either. And that, a lot of times when he comes across my social media, I kind of scroll. Like, I don't even like hearing his voice. It makes me feel like I'm brain cells are dying. But
It feels violating to watch
it
him
does.
talk.
It really does.
But
But
you
Yeah,
it's
have those
crazy
people
to
who have the mindset that we don't matter. There was, and on a lesser note than what we're speaking of now, this guy did a whole think piece. He was one of my friends on Facebook, but he did this whole think piece about people booing Taylor Swift, but didn't say anything about the same group of people or the same type of people that booed President Barack Obama when he went to the inauguration. So that right there, the mindset is we we deserve that, but someone who's blonde haired and blue eyed with fair skin does not.
One
yeah.
thing I will say, when I was watching the clips of the Super Bowl, I did see that he got booed at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they
oh,
that
edited
was
it and
lovely.
they
they
edited
try
it
to
on
cover it.
yeah, they
Did you see
did.
the video of him walking on the field and the dude was yelling about how he was a traitor to the country?
Mm-mm.
Yep.
I
Mm-mm.
mean,
Yes.
yelling his ass off. It was so funny.
And then that a couple of the back. Did y'all see the background dancers getting hauled off the field because they ran on the field with the Palestine flag?
I did
Hmm.
see
Yeah, it
that.
was.
He had a Sudanese flag too. He came out with
Did
the
he?
Sudanese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
but they're not
literally
pressing
carried them
charges.
off. They
They
literally
didn't know he
carried
was
them
gonna
off.
do it.
Oh.
That
Um.
was insane.
Zagreb, you
Yeah,
have already fucking told us that. We have already told you we don't give a fuck. Okay, we don't care.
And trying to tie this back to the handbook that they're using, right? It's the illusion of exceptionalism, because if you really look at it, y'all are not like exempt. You're not somehow taken away from the suffering that everybody else is going to suffer, right? But they sell you that, right? They sell you that if you're Christian and you follow the Bible, then you're going to be like the Israelites. You're going to get all the good stuff and you're not going to get deported. And if you follow the Messiah and you pray to the T guy, right? Everything will be fine for you. Once you make sure that you're giving your all to the T man, everything will be fine for you. So they don't care about anybody else, right? That's how they come up here and say, well, my family's fine. Well, I pray to God and everything was good for me, right? It's the same mentality Venezuela had, right? Now they're making videos to say, Trump, no, he deceived us, he betrayed us.
He
Yeah,
didn't
he
deceive them.
sold you
The
exceptionalism.
Palestinians too.
Yeah.
The Muslims saying the same thing too. And there's several of them that are like, we're just gonna hold off and see what he does.
It,
What? What do
it's
you think?
only
Crazy.
What do you think he's about to do? Like, what?
Take
He
patty
literally
cake.
said he's gonna ship y'all somewhere else.
they don't
Find
care.
y'all some new land. You
Send
think
me
he
your
gonna
love.
change his mind on that?
They don't care. They're still saying thank you, thank you. He says he's about to freaking level that shit.
He don't care. They don't care
They
either.
don't believe it. They really don't.
How
Because
long
Like
are they gonna stay
he
in this
went to
they have
bat for
delusional?
us.
proximity. Because they have proximity to the Messiah.
Right.
Yeah, so they
Hmm.
think I'm fine.
He's not
Yep.
even Christian, right?
No, he's not.
So that's even crazier. It's just like
He's
all these
just
Christians
using.
that support
Yeah.
him.
But he's doing the same thing that Netanyahu did, right? Like Netanyahu it says that he can't lose his support of the evangelical Christians in America, although the Israelis in Israel want a law that says that you cannot convert people to Christianity in Israel. And if you do, then you go to jail for 5 years. If you convert a child, you go to jail for longer. I think it was life. And Netanyahu blocked that bill. He blocked that law because he said that right now his biggest support comes from the evangelicals in America. So like he's doing the same thing that Netanyahu did by mobilizing and appeasing to the evangelical Christians, because that's where their money comes from. That's where their biggest
Hmm.
influence comes from, the evangelicals. And so they're going to give them what they want until they no longer need them.
Like, you think he doesn't know what he's doing when he goes, literally inauguration speech? He had it to add how he found Jesus. Dummy, he's talking to you. He's trying to get your dumb ass. He, like, when is the last time you heard Trump talk about he found Jesus or he found? He's literally trying to get you, and you're eating that shit up. He like, come
Hmm.
on now.
Eating out of his hand. It's crazy business.
Like Ezekiel bread. They eating
And,
it right on up.
and the fact that they say it's not Jesus, it's not God, it's the human, it's their free will. But the fact that your God can be used in that way, and your God allow itself to be used that way, and then y'all would say that your God is not dormant, right? You'll say that your God is not an idea, but yet your God just sits back and allows himself to be used to cause hate, to cause harm. If your God is about love and peace, why does he allow himself to be used to cause harm and to spread hatred and violence? That's the thing that I want to know.
And not only that, like, I have a question, right? With all these, when he's deporting everybody, right? So I feel like, is he also going to take U.S. Out of other people's countries, taking other people's resources? Because they've never like, oh, I'm gonna, make an agreement with these countries so that I can use their resources, and they will also have some kind of benefit from it. But no, instead they just take resources from people's, countries, and then the country gets destabilized, and then America can be like, oh, that country's destabilized. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Did y'all see
But
that Europe, other European countries are starting to send their people like pamphlets to prepare them for whatever is coming? And at the end of it, it's like, oh, we're also talking about the weather and and sicknesses that are going out. But at first, it's like these are trying times. There might be a war coming.
man,
Canada has already warned their people that a war was coming with the U.S.
and then
And I saw a video of a lady from Canada. She was like, I don't know why the Americans don't know that we're about to go to war. Our people have already told us and have already prepped us. She's like, but the Americans don't know. And she was like, why don't they know?
because he doesn't
Because
care.
Going to war with Canada?
That's
I
what the
know.
Canadians are
Yeah,
saying.
they're censoring our news big time now.
Yeah, because he
There's
wants to
And like
take
the
it.
like media is basically they're doing everything to coddle Trump.
But like I don't know when, but the Canadians are saying that they've already been told that
Yeah.
we're about to go to war.
Other
We
countries
just don't know.
This was
Other
recent.
countries too. Not even like literally the fact that they're able to announce it to other countries and can't like, and we're just sitting here sitting duck. We're just like, at the end of the day, they're not even. I think even while the war is going on, they're still not going to tell us. They're still not going to tell us.
They're
Yeah.
just gonna keep us in the dark.
Well,
Yep.
I'll be a double agent for Canada.
I'm saying.
I was just about to say that. I'll go to Canada.
I love maple syrup and Canadian bacon.
Uh-uh.
And Joel reads the Bible.
And Joel, the golden boy of the deconstruction
We coming to
community.
your house, Joe. We all coming to your house. Just
Yeah,
get
we all
ready.
moving in with Joel.
We need a sponsorship. That's come on, Joel.
I'm interested to see. 'Cause I know some. I'm interested to see like how far this anti-Christian bias thing, like how far are they gonna take it? Like how far will it go?
All the way to Christian nationalism. Like there was a guy on Dugal's live Saturday that was saying that he wants a Christian nationalist state. So like there are fundamental Christians who want United States to be Christian nationalists.
What would that look like for atheists, or I guess any
Like
non-believer?
that, one of the politicians tweeted in 2023 that atheists, he said non-believers should be jailed and then executed. That was from a politician in 2023.
Oh wow, jailed and executed?
Hmm.
If it's
The
That's what
crazy
they
part
did. That's what
is,
they did back in the day, huh?
I mean, the crazy part is the people that be saying this shit can't do nothing. Like, I wish a motherfucker that was like anybody that could put that into legislation. I wish they pull up. They wouldn't be able to do jack nor shit about it. They got to hide behind, giving the military billions of dollars to fuck around with innocent people. But I mean, it's ironic as fuck that all they do is sit behind screens and pieces of paper and shit, yelling demands for a world that they want to see that they're not even a part of.
Yeah. But the thing is that they have the money to make this bullshit happen. They have the money to create the culture wars, right? And then because people won't educate themselves, people won't question because they're too afraid of hell. Whatever your name is, Ziggaroot, they're too afraid of hell to question. So they allow themselves to be used to push these hateful and harmful agendas even against themselves. And then the same ones that are on board with this shit because of your God, they'll be the same ones that'll be saying, we need to work together. We need to all come together.
Yeah.
Did you see
Nobody that's not coming together with me. Fuck you.
did you see the lady that says she voted for him twice? She's an evangelical. Right now she's deconstructing. She voted for him twice, and she's calling for everyone who saw the light from the beginning to have compassion on those like her who had just come into the light and are now realizing the error of their ways. She was like, we have to come together. I'm like,
I'm gonna tell
girl,
you, he should have won in 2020, and then they wouldn't have been able to do what the fuck they're doing now. And the Heritage Group said it. Had he won in 2020, their whole plan would have been busted. They didn't want him to win in 2020. They needed him to win this election.
why is
Like,
that?
because what they did during Biden's campaign is they put all their representatives in place in the House and in the Senate. They had people running in uncontested states. Like they were putting all of their people in place, and they weren't ready for the presidential race. And so like they had a conference after the election in 2020, and they were celebrating that he didn't win. And they was like if he had won this election, we'd be having a different meeting right now.
Mm.
They didn't want him to win in 2020.
How likely is it he'll stay longer than 4 years?
He would have to change the Constitution for that to happen, and for us not to have be able to vote for another president. Like they would have to get their convention of states. They would have to run away with it, do a runaway convention, and they would have to change the Constitution for that to happen, which is what they're working on. They got 4 years to make that shit happen.
Did y'all see the bill that was introduced for married women? If you
Yeah.
change your name, you can't vote no more.
If you what?
If you change your name after you got married or something like that, or just over time, you can't vote.
Does that
There's
count
a group of
automatically?
evangelical white men that's trying to take away women's right to vote, saying that the man the man who is next of kin to the woman should make the decisions, the political decisions for the woman. So there was like, if she doesn't have a husband, then it should be her father. If she doesn't have a father, then it should be her brother. If she doesn't have a brother, it should be her uncle. If she doesn't have an uncle, it should be her next male cousin. That's what they're trying to do.
But yet Christians are the ones being persecuted. Interesting.
Yeah, they're the victims.
It's like they're fighting to take away everybody's rights, but yet they're the victims. I just don't see it. Just don't see it at all.
Well, you know, you guys don't need rights, but we don't need the bias either. So
Yeah, it's crazy. But I don't see the anti-Christian bias that they're talking about.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I think they're writing their persecution into the history, but because they have to make the book seem like reality, right? This executive order, I feel, would just make Christians be like, the Bible talked about Christians being persecuted in the last and evil days. All they're doing is writing the last and evil days into history for the Christians, so they'll be more likely to go along with whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
Last week there were Christians in here saying, "What are we supposed to do? This is it was written like this. This is supposed to happen." Like literally said that this is supposed to happen.
yeah,
So a lot of them aren't going to fight back because they believe that this is the tribulation period, right?
What
Like this is
kind of
supposed to
delusion?
happen.
Like,
this
what
is
kind of
them doing the
delusion do they
whole.
live
Well, you
in?
know, they
Like,
were sacrificing kids to.
yeah, it's like you sit here and you just take it, like, just without question. I don't know.
The self-fulfilled prophecies. That's all this is.
Yeah. And they do it every now and then, right? This isn't the first time. The Cold War, like they've done it multiple times. Like the end of the world was coming multiple times, and whenever they need to change something in society, they invoke this whole Armageddon bullshit and the fear of the people.
And they bait y'all, and y'all for just go fall for that shit every time. You never ask, why did my mama not go to hell? Why did the end of the world didn't come when my great grandma was here, my grandma, my mom, and you think it's gonna come when you're here? Right? They've been praying for the exact same shit that you're praying for right now. And you think it didn't come in their time, but it's supposed to come in your time. You're the one that's supposed to start the end of the world. Okay, but y'all are not a cult though. Okay.
Christianity is kind of sick.
And they'll say that statement that you made right there, that's anti-Christian bias.
But
Just saying that.
you know, when you do these things, like even just reading some of the Bible or like hearing some of the things that their God does or the things that Christians do in the name of their God, it's really just sick and kind of insane. Like I don't know how you can just sit there and tell yourself like, oh, this is right because we're doing it because God said we should do it. Even but on the same token, but you know it's wrong, or you know the things that He does is wrong, but you're just like, oh, we're just gonna do it anyway. But it's okay as long as you're forgiven and when you pass away, you go into this golden world of happiness and delusions. Like I don't understand.
I just looked up like how many times they've done it. So like the Cold War, 1945 to 1991, the threat of nuclear war led to widespread fear that the world could end in a nuclear apocalypse. The doomsday clock was used as a symbol during that time. John F. Kennedy stated that nuclear war could cause the destruction of the human race, and Ronald Reagan in 1983 called the USSR the evil empire and warned that if communism spread, it could mean the end of civilization. Like they do this all the time. The war on terror after 9/11, Islamic terrorism will end civilization. So they used 9/11. George Bush did. He said either you are with us or you are with the terrorists, and warned that failing to act would allow weapons of mass destruction to fall into terrorists' hands, leading to the end of the world. And now they're using the climate change as the end of the world. um, politicians are using climate change rhetoric to push for policy changes. I don't think climate change is rhetoric. I don't know. I think they're fighting against climate change. I think they're trying to say, um, I think the climate change is real. I wouldn't say that that's end of the world rhetoric. I don't know why they have that listed there. But they say Al Gore predicted catastrophic climate collapse. And somebody named Greta Thunberg, people are dying and entire ecosystems are collapsing. We're in the beginning of mass extinction.
I think that's how they're using global warming to do it, because they're not necessarily acknowledging the effects of global warming. They're just saying, like, now that all these earthquakes are happening and all these things,
Hmm.
now that all this is happening, it's a sign from God. They're not necessarily acknowledging that this is, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like climate change. They're not
Hmm.
saying it's climate
Yeah,
change. Yeah.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah, they're
California
still
fires is
denying it.
God wrath and not like a shitty situation.
They
But
also
he
said
does.
COVID was the end of the world.
That's true. It's like they say that these
Like two
things are
thirds of the earth will. They say 2/3 of the earth will be wiped away in the last day when all the deaths would happen during COVID. They was like that was prophecy.
Yeah, they, and simultaneously they're saying there's actually no sickness, right? They're saying, "Oh, you shouldn't get the vaccine. It's all made up, blah blah blah." But on the other hand, still using it to promote their whole end of the world nonsense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not actually acknowledging the climate change. They're just using it, without actually knowing what it is.
that's insane.
Yeah, I know people to this day that were just like, man, they tried to unalive us with that shit, man. All you had to do was inject a little bleach. And I'm like, bro, it's a wonder you're still alive, honestly. And I think those are the people that like had to do it because of work, like had to get vaccine. But
Mm,
I mean, just the fact that they'll still to this day just be like, oh man, that thing unalived so many people. Like it was definitely not the virus, it was the cure. It's like, bro, are you serious? Are you dumb? Like I know you know somebody that like is no longer here because of the shits, right? Like, did you talk to them in that process? Do you know how painful that shit was? Like here today, going tomorrow type shit. Like,
They're
I
probably watching
honestly,
those people sick and being like, "Oh, what you do? The devil done got you."
right,
Hmm.
this is because of your sin.
Exactly. Not even acknowledging the fact that the person is going through pain. The person is actually sick. Their body is fighting them, right? None of that matters. The whole time they're sitting in that hospital chair, if they even sitting there, they're telling you that they're already thinking about how you're going to be ending up in hell because you brought this on yourself.
that's
So
crazy.
somebody asked where is the prophecy about 2/3? It's in Zechariah. It says, "In the whole land, says the Lord, 2/3 shall be cut off and perish, and 1/3 shall be left alive." So the Christians believe that the 2/3 that will be cut off and perish are going to be Jewish people that do not convert to Christianity and the non-believers, and the 1/3 that shall be left alive are Christians, and they believe that they are going to be the ones that's going to live in Israel. And they were saying COVID was fulfilling this prophecy right here, that 2/3 of the earth. They were doing the numbers, and they were saying that the amount of people that died fulfills the 2/3 of the earth being cut off.
But it didn't.
It didn't. Mm-mm.
Why is it always when things like this happen, it's God's wrath, but this God doesn't show his wrath for homeless people or children being unalived or raped or, for
Because
things like
because
that?
he's only their personal genie. They tell, oh, God, he doesn't work like, he's only their personal genie, right? They're able to rub that lamp every time they need a new job. They're able to rub that lamp every time they need a new house or a new car. But when we say, can he feed some people? Oh, God is not a genie, right? He doesn't work that way.
There
But
was
they'll
a
call him
girl
in this live to shut people up. Sorry.
that sushi girl was on Tied the Goddesses live last night,
Whew.
and she was saying that God gave her a Kia.
What?
Good
Yeah.
or horrible. Both
she,
funny.
Kia.
yeah, she
Which
prayed
is
and
too
God
funny.
gave her a Kia while they were talking to her about the little girls being raped in the middle of the night, and how they are forced to marry grown men in Malawi. And she was like, I don't like it. She was like, but God does answer. God does help me. And Lawrence asked, how has your God showed up for you? And she said that she asked God for a car and he blessed her with a Kia. And no, she said that she didn't have to. She didn't have to pay for it. Two people had given her a car or something, and one of them was a Kia.
A pre-owned car. And then Nicole said that she got a
Melanin's sister was
raindrop.
on her ass, huh?
Nah, you right about that. I was saying, and Nicole said that God gave her a single raindrop on a trampoline one time. So
Yeah.
I swear I started singing "Raindrops Be Falling on My Head." Like what the fuck? But yeah. Deja, we're gonna move on and bring up another guest. Did you have anything else before we move on?
Nope, I'm actually about to go to my pre-calculus one class actually is about to start, so
Well, good luck with that. Goddamn, calculus is
oh
hard than
man.
a motherfucker. Are you pre med?
No, I'm computer science, and which
Oh,
means
that's
I
right.
got pre-calculus 2 left. I got calculus 1, calculus 2, and then I got another math after that. So just yeah. Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you, Thinker. I did miss you. I'm glad you're back.
Oh, I missed y'all too. I'm happy to be back. That's why I'm shocked that I'm on. I'm gonna stay on to 3. That's how much I missed y'all, and then I'll be back at 11.
Oh.
All right, Thinker.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Mm.
Let's see who this Oso is. Oso, you must have a fan friend.
$8
it's only a
sign.
matter of time.
You said what?
It's only a matter of time.
Let's see who this is.
I just want to have a bunch of fake pages that give out readings.
Oh my goodness. Why is Lords in uh uh oh my god, what's your name? Now you don't change your name and I don't even know what your real
It's a
name was.
science
Um
school, and
Persephone. Why is Lords in Persephone named Science School? What is that about?
Oh, that happened in Christina's live. This guy said he went to science school. He was trying to teach us
He went to
about
science school?
science.
Apparently.
Oh my gosh.
my
Oh,
brother
so real? Oh,
investigated.
they're not. Maybe it was Dugal because they're not
No, it's not.
connected.
It's a
Oh,
black
it's
dude, but
not.
he got like double the amount of followers I got. It couldn't be me. He's also
The,
following 10,000 people. That definitely couldn't be me.
oh well, he didn't connect. So hold on. So if you're in the guest request box and you're in there on purpose, can you please comment so that we bring you up? Um, let's see.
Y'all remember when I was like, I watched my phone die? That's literally what just happened to me. I saw the 1%, but I really believed that it was going to take me the next like 10 minutes. And, I just microwave and then rush to the charger. It didn't work this time.
Uh, uh,
I'm so mad at myself. Like when the electricity went off, I immediately saw myself sitting on the bed with the laptop. And I was like, holy shit.
Like, you should have probably done that when you were sitting there.
Man. And I got up out the bed yesterday, came and unplugged my Mac and brought it back to the bed with me. And when I opened it up, it was updating. And I laid back down. And then I looked at the MacBook and I was like, why did I bring that over here? Like, it literally just slipped my mind. I got a feeling this account that says Young is that account that kept trying to come up on stage.
Wait, why is everybody just cycling out?
conversation was not that long.
Proxy party?
I see a black screen.
It's not connected on my end. There's someone disassociated. She said me when you asked if there's someone in there that wants to come in.
Also,
Raindrops be
Cheshy
falling
vibes.
on my head. Huh? Who?
Is it also Cheshy vibes?
Oh, they're not in the guest box. Disassociated?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
I'm doing good. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes, and also let me know if you are a believer, if you're deconstructing, or if you are an atheist?
Yeah, I'm 33 and I am deconstructing.
Okay, and which topic did you want to discuss?
Well, I was trying to come up here when you guys were talking about like this Trump conspiracy thing. And then I do actually want to talk about one of the topics, but have you guys watched that documentary called The Family on Netflix?
No.
I would give it a watch. Because it's about this Christian organization. They used to be called the Family. They've been getting politicians into places of power for a long time. I
I
think his
heard
name is
about that.
Michael. Yeah, I would just watch it if you guys have time because I watched
What's
it
it
last
called?
night from beginning to end. There's multiple episodes, but it was crazy. And it connects a lot of pieces, and like their definition of like a relationship with God is very, very different. It's a whole different like denomination of Christianity, and it's terrifying.
Family, Rhea.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, no problem. And then so my problem right now is that I was raised in I don't know if you guys have heard of the
I'm sorry.
Assemblies
Can
of
Can you
God.
pick a topic for me? Which topic are you talking about?
Um, I think like the gang belief and loyalty,
Okay.
because that's what I'm struggling with. Because I believe that it is. I believe that like I was born into this Christian family. I went to church. I was indoctrinated, and now when I'm trying to deconstruct, I feel so guilty. Like I'm betraying my family and myself and whatever this God is. And I've been struggling with it for a long time, since like high school. My nickname in Bible class was Rebuttal. So being thinker, I don't know, we're kin spirits, I suppose. Um and I've always questioned everything, and it was a big point of contention in my family, you know? Um and then I came out as gay and I got kicked out and all this other stuff, whatever, whatever. They tried to get me a what do you call it? An exorcism. I was ready for it. But now, even though like I listen to you guys every day and I know that this whole thing is bullshit, right? But I'm trying to go through a 12 step. I don't know if any of you guys have, but um, one of the main steps, one of the first steps is coming to terms with like a higher power and giving over your like your strength or desires or whatever to this higher power. And I cannot get past Christianity. And so like I can't move forward in that. And I'm just wondering if any of you have any type of like, I don't know, lead me in the right direction on what to do with this because I don't believe in God anymore, or at least I'm trying not to. I don't know if any of that makes sense.
It makes sense. It's a process. When you say you can't get past Christianity, besides the guilt, that you're feeling, what's keeping you there? Like, is it the fear of hell?
No, I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in heaven. It's not that. It's I think it's the association. Like
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 losing family and stuff?
Yeah, well that I mean I already lost all of my church family, right? That's been gone. Which sucked. And I miss that. I miss the community and the congregation and like the coming together and all that stuff, right? So like there's a sense of like loss there and sadness, but I think for me it's associating God with anything else. if that makes sense.
When you can you be more specific when you say in association with God there? Like, are you saying like with you praying and you thanking God um for like you waking up? Like, can you be more specific so
Yeah,
that
so in a 12 step, right? You're supposed to find a higher power and like com commune with that higher power. And it could be anything. It could be the universe, it could be Jesus, it could be whatever, right? And I understand that it can be anything. But
Mhm.
in my mind, I cannot associate that word with anything other than this guy who told me that I was a sinner, turned everybody in my life against me, and got me cast out. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
can't get past the hatred of God in order to move on and find what works for me.
But and you can't figure out why though?
Yeah, exactly.
Um Man, that's a tough
Like,
one
is it something
when
that I
you're
need to deconstruct further?
like
Because this has been going on since I was 16. I'm 33. So this is over half my life that I've been deconstructing. Like, how long is it going to take for me?
it's going to be hard when you like you got to get to the root of the why behind why you can't, right? Because you're it's not tied to like the fear of you going to hell. It's not tied to the fear of you losing family. Where did she go?
Her phone probably died like mine. I'm not the only one.
Hey y'all, let's get these likes to
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. So, you were saying like you were saying this step is needing you to, um, like replace. Can you explain that part to me again?
Yeah, so in the 12 steps, like I think it's one of the first two steps. You need to identify your higher power so that you can give over like your will to something greater than you, right? So I'm going through this with my girlfriend. She's in recovery, and I'm going through Al-Anon. And so just like in order to go through a 12 step, you have to have something that you can rely on bigger than yourself.
Right, but like, is that step, including like maybe you are not capable of that? Like, I mean, I don't want to shit on the like the 12-step program or anything like that, but I think like when you have a roadblock like this, it might require you to, swap one addiction for the next, is kind of what I'm hearing. Like I'm not necessarily sure why it requires you to find something greater than yourself. Like you loving yourself enough to stop doing the thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, should be the plan rather than you needing to find something outside yourself that's greater than yourself. And if your mind cannot conceptualize that, then you should not be required to do that. Because some of us just don't have that much imagination, right? So,
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, if I can't come up with something that my mind is not, like, my mind can't conjure up something that's higher than myself, like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
if the step was rather saying, hey, maybe you should start to work on loving yourself enough not to hurt yourself and not to do this to yourself, that would make more sense. So I'm not like, especially with the way my brain works, I'm not sure how to give you something else to rely on outside of your own brain and outside of yourself and outside of making sure that you're comfortable with the human being that you are, rather
Hmm.
than needing to go find another higher power. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I understand where they're coming from on like the regular like AA side of it. 'Cause I understand needing a higher power, but like I also think that having a higher power there is almost diminishing the work that each of those individuals are doing to stay sober, which is
Right.
so
Yeah.
incredibly amazing. So yeah, like I feel you. I just got to find something else that works for me that doesn't require me to be something other than black, basically.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You don't need to create another reality outside of the one that you know for a fact you're observing, right? Like
Hmm.
that's where people now need to, believe in things that really don't make any sense. And when someone says, "How did this help you with your blah 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 with your addiction or whatever it is?" You really can't explain it. You just believed it, right? You just
Hmm.
believe
Yeah.
the thing, right? But if someone were to say, "So how did you do this? How did you work on this?" You can tell them every day I had to, do mirror work. I talked to myself, affirmations. I made sure like I was paying attention to my triggers. That makes sense. That's something that someone can follow. But if you're telling me just higher power, you're just telling me to believe something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It takes critical thinking out of everything. Yep.
absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Well, I appreciate y'all's time. I hope you watched that
Of course. Yeah. I'm gonna
documentary.
look
It's
it
gonna
up.
blow your minds. I'm gonna come back in like 3 days and y'all gonna be talking about it and be like, yes, because y'all
Thank
are gonna go
you.
crazy.
Thank you. I'm definitely gonna look it up.
All right.
I
Sounds good.
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
y'all.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming up.
have a good one. Thank you for helping her, Rhea.
Of course.
You all right?
Shut up.
Damn, I can't never do nothing nice. Make her when your live was acting weird earlier. I thought that it was
It wasn't
screaming to
acting
the
weird.
void time.
That was on me.
Yeah, but I mean, like in the time between it started like glitching and then ending. I made a confession in the chat because I didn't think nobody could see my comments, but they saw
What
it.
What was your confession?
I eat popcorn raw.
What the what?
You eat seeds?
You just eat like
He eats the
kernels?
goddamn kernels. Oh my
You eat
god.
the kernels?
I dip them in butter and eat the kernels.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry.
Drop them. That's enough to drop them. I feel. Anybody want to vote?
I feel
Let's
it's
vote.
crazy
That's what I feel.
It's
in my
disgusting.
estimation.
Not six pain co-signing your ass.
Y'all never like it's like pop rocks before your stomach because they get
It
down
ain't
there
that
and
ain't shit like pop rocks.
Okay.
That don't hurt your
What?
teeth? It don't hurt your teeth?
I can't believe it's not
Ain't
You
pop
no
gonna
way
hurt
he
rocks.
your
can.
mind to
I don't
even
think
think
he can.
about that?
He can't even do it. That shit is too hard.
No, yeah, you just swallow them whole and then they pop in your stomach from the acid.
What is happening with all these people not connecting?
You know what's funny though? In Nigeria, we do have a snack that's like peanuts and the what do you call it, the kernels? But it's like it's roasted kernels, so it's like it becomes crunchy rather than like you're freaking chewing the raw thing. Like
I
you
could
kind
see the
of
peanuts.
yeah, and peanuts. Like you merge it with peanuts, and that's like the snack. And some people add the popcorn in there sometimes, but I like to eat the whole thing. But
Okay, so we're not as different as we thought, real.
you know what?
Dang, even Lex it ain't connecting. That's weird. I don't know what's going on, y'all.
They sell that on TikTok? Really? Okay. Nigeria done went international. Period.
Jenny,
What's going on?
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can I get your age
Hey,
for TikTok purposes, and then let me know if you are a believer, if you're deconstructing, or if you are an atheist.
I'm 42. I'm not a I wouldn't consider myself an atheist, but I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in religion at all. See, the thing is, when like growing up, I grew up in the church, and I'm from New Orleans. So in New Orleans has the biggest group of Black Catholic families in America, right? So all my family's Catholic. I grew up with, but it's not like it's not a Catholic church in a traditional sense of what you think a Catholic church is, where everyone's offbeat and it's like this is an all black, like a famous black Catholic church was rocking like a Baptist church on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in that church, grew up a Christian, but I always had questions about the shit. Just never made sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Never made sense to me. I remember one time we had a theology class, and I said something about I asked our teacher, well, if this is supposed to be, if the Bible is supposed to be the history of the world in a sense, why aren't dinosaurs in the Bible? And the whole class laughed at me. Even the goddamn teacher laughed at me. So I'm like, man, something ain't right with this shit. Like everybody, this religion does something to where can't nobody question it for some reason. Like I knew that as a young age. And then as you grow, when you start to read shit, you start to read books like Stolen Legacy from George G.M. James, which and you start to find out that a certain group of people were the first people on the planet with a sense of spirituality. And everybody made their pilgrimages to this particular place. I'm talking about ancient Kemet, and nobody else knew what religion was. No one else knew what spirituality was. And these people had the first schools on the planet. And all these great Greek philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates and Plato and Pythagoras, we made them wait. We made them sit on a waiting list to even be able to have the ability to be enrolled in our schools. And you learn about how we were the only spiritual people on the planet, and then Alexander the Great and Justinian and Constantinople, these Romans start to, well, when they took over Kemet and burned our libraries down, then all of a sudden you get this new wave religion that starts to sweep the globe, and they're forcing people to practice it, which is Christianity. And you just start to learn that it's all when you start to step outside of your religion and read certain things, your beliefs can't help but be dismantled. You
But
understand what
I
I'm
think
saying?
like saying that Kemet is like the place that everybody got all their information from is not it's not accurate. Kemet is an old civilization. It's one of the oldest, but there was also
The
a
oldest.
Mesopotamia. There was
People
also
believe it's
I'm
the
sorry,
oldest.
hello. There was also an ancient Mesopotamian city called Kish that is just as old. They both emerged around the same time. Kish was a large, powerful nation as well. It wasn't as powerful as Kemet. Kish ended up getting destroyed in a tsunami, and a lot of the people ended up migrating down into the delta area. But Kemet isn't the only, like they both emerged around 3100 BCE. So they're it isn't the only advanced civilization that existed during that time.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one
Hmm.
thing?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Now that can be true, but many Egyptologists believe that Egypt goes back almost 10,000 years. That's what they believe, just based on the structure of that area. And many people believe that, well, if you read the destruction of black civilization, there
I've
are
read that
many
book.
beliefs that of course we all know that there was one landmass at one time, but the area which is now Africa, the area which is with now that continent at one point in time, maybe going beyond 10,000 years ago, was uninhabitable, and a lot of the people, they couldn't live in most of that continent because of the weather, because of the structure of the continent, because most of the continent was desert. So they couldn't. So there was no vegetation. There was no way to eat. So what
Are
happened
you
was
talking about
the
Pangea
pockets.
though?
The pockets of the continent.
Hold on, because I don't like misinformation going out from my page. Are you talking about Pangea, where when you say it was just one landmass, because that was millions of years ago, and that didn't happen during the time of ancient Kemet?
No, okay, we're talking about. No, I'm not talking about Pangea. I didn't mean to say that. I'm talking about that when Africa was actually carved out as a continent. And many people believe that the first people were on that continent, but most of the continent was uninhabitable. So people started to migrate towards what we know as Kemet, because of the Nile. So there
So
was a lot of
are you saying that
infighting.
you believe that there were no other African nations that existed outside of Kemet or Egypt?
No, no, not at one time. No, Egypt is the first.
No,
Egypt is the
that's not.
first.
That's not
Not
true.
true.
That's
No,
not true.
Egypt was the first developed nation
That's
on
not
the
true. That's like
planet.
saying all Africans came
I mean, there was
from Egypt.
Ethiopians.
That's
No, but
not true.
listen, what
Hold
can I
on, Jimmy.
respond?
No, because I don't allow misinformation to
Jimmy,
go
you've
out
been
from my
monologuing.
page. I don't allow misinformation to go out
Well,
through
what do
my
you get? What
page.
source
I'm
up?
sorry.
What do you get?
Hold
What's
on,
the source?
Jimmy. If this is information that you want to spread, you can do that on your own live. I don't allow misinformation to go out through my page. As I've stated, right? Egypt or ancient Kemet emerged around 3100 BCE, according to archaeology and scholarship. If there are other scholars out there that say that it goes back further than that, I would need to ask you for your resources because you're the one bringing that information here.
Well, I can read some excerpts where George G. M. James dedicated 20 years of his life to stolen legacy, and this to stolen legacy. I don't know if you've read it, and it's his belief that what is now Egypt, well, what is Kemet, is the oldest civilization on the planet.
Right. I
That's,
hear you saying belief, right? But I'm asking
well,
for
how do
like
we know? Okay,
archaeological. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Like when I talk, there's no need for you to talk at the same time, and I'm not talking the same time you talk. I hear you saying belief, right? But what I'm asking for is archaeological evidence. What archaeological evidence does this person have to say that it goes back 10,000 years? Is what I'm asking.
well, there are statues of Isis and Osiris that have been found in the crust of Asia that they believe go back just based on the structure of just based on the structure of those statues. Uh, People believe, archaeologists and Egyptologists believe that those statues were created thousands upon thousands of years ago. Let's look at the pyramids.
Hold on,
Let's
you
look at
keep
the
saying
Sphinx.
believe though. Do you hear me? Like you keep saying the words believe and you're not
Not well,
pointing
that
to
well,
any.
belief
I'm
based
sorry,
on
Jimmy.
scientific
Jimmy.
evidence.
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
They believe
Hold
that
on,
based on
Jimmy.
scientific
Jimmy.
evidence.
You haven't brought any evidence. You keep saying the word believe, right? What archaeologists are you referring to when you say that they found the oldest statue of Isis and Osiris in you said in Asia?
Yeah.
What
I can't
archaeologists
give
found
you
that?
I can't give you a specific archaeologist but I'm talking about them as a community. That's the belief, just based on the structure. Of course, the belief is based on science. Now, can you give me any specific archaeologist where you've received your information from that makes you believe that
The consensus
there's a
will have the
civilization that's much
consensus.
older?
Okay, Jimmy, the consensus will at least be recorded, right?
I'm sorry.
This community of scholars that you're talking about, at least they're recorded, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how do we find that information?
That is the oldest civilization. There are many. All you
No,
can
these
do
statues
since we
that you're
weren't
talking
there.
about.
This is my thing. Since we weren't there, you have to go by the artifacts, right? You have to go by the evidence that's
Right,
left
we're
behind, right?
asking you what archaeologists, right, have found these statues and who have verified that they're older, right? Because like a simple Google search, right, tells me that the oldest statues of Osiris was dates back to the 6th dynasty, which 2345 to 2181 BCE. I don't see anything older than that. So what I'm asking you is what archaeologists found these older statues of Osiris?
Wait, you said the oldest statue was what?
It dates back to the 6th dynasty, which dates to 2345 to 2181 BCE.
And that's according to who? 'Cause you told me to name a
That
specific archaeologist or a specific
Augustine
community
Mariette,
so where that you get your information from.
Auguste Mariette,
Now,
Auguste
what's yours?
Mariette. I'm sorry.
Mine is George G. M. James. who wrote Stolen
And
Legacy,
okay,
which is well
and he
revered and
found the
respected,
I'm sorry, hello,
respected
I'm gonna
amongst
take you down if you keep
many
disrespecting my
Dang it,
stage.
Egyptologists.
Jimmy!
Like goddamn, if you
Shut
keep
the hell
disrespecting my
up!
stage, I'm gonna take you down. And that, like, it's not that big of a deal, right? Um, so you said his name is what? George
George
what?
G. M. James, and his book is well revered.
His, I just want to look to see the archaeology. George M. James.
George G. M. James.
Let's see.
Sounds like ancient alien vibes.
I'm surprised you've
He
never heard
so
of that
his
book.
book. I'm sorry. His book. Um, his book documents connections between Greek philosophers and Egyptian thought. It doesn't have archaeology in it. There's no archaeological
It is
evidence in his
archaeological.
book.
There's archaeological information in it. Give me a second.
No,
I can reference. Give me a
it's
second. I can
not. There
reference some.
isn't. What archaeological evidence is in his book? Like the summary of his book says that his James's book includes documented connections between Greek philosophers and Egyptian thought.
Yeah, but it's deeper than that. That's okay. That's the gist of the book. That's the gist of the book. But when you read the book, you go through it. The book explains how the book explains how Greek philosophers got their philosophy from Africa, because Africans created the first mystery schools, which taught the world agriculture, taught the world science, taught the world engineering, and the great Greeks were like, for instance, the book talks about the story of Pythagoras. You know what
Hold on.
Pythagoras
Right
is?
now, what we are talking about is the claim that Isis and Osiris go back 10,000 years.
Well, that's according
That's
to
a
him.
claim
That's
that you
according to
made.
him, and he's
Right.
an
And I'm still
archaeologist.
trying to find, he's not an archaeologist. He is not an archaeologist.
He's an author. He's an
He's
author
not an archaeologist, though. He's not
he
an
studied.
archaeologist, though, Jimmy. He's
Okay,
not an archaeologist. Just
let me
because
say
someone
so.
call, hold on, no. Just because someone calls himself a historian does not mean that they are an archaeologist. Archaeologists excavate sites. All right, they go and they dig over a period of seasons. They examine strata.
I know what
Right,
archaeologists do,
and
but I don't.
he's not one of them. He's
You
not an
are going to
archaeologist.
stop interrupting her.
Like I don't, I'm not, I
We
don't
don't care
know.
what you know.
Like I don't know why y'all feel it's like I don't know, like why y'all think that all black people think that they come from Kemet.
That would be impossible.
How would that be impossible?
Because we would not have the wide range of genetic pools that we have in Africa today. The Nok people were also around the time of Kemet, and those would be your modern day West Africans today. So there were other civilizations that existed alongside Kemet. There were other nations, empires that existed alongside Kemet, which would be your modern day West Africans, South Africans, East Africans, and then on the other way.
But what was theorized to be the most developed civilization out of the Chinese civilization, out of Mesopotamia?
But why is that important? Because who is saying that Kemet was not developed?
Not because, but people don't give it. But people love to. I feel like Western society loves to not give Egypt the credit that it deserves.
Like, why do you think they took it over? Like, literally, Israel wanted Egypt. Alexander the Great wanted Egypt. Like, even the
Alexander the
Babylon,
Great took over
I'm
Egypt.
sorry, hello. I cannot talk at the same time that you're talking. I don't know how y'all have conversations, but talking at the same time ain't it up in here. The Babylonians came up against Egypt. Like literally, these nations fought against each other. Like it was literally trade wars back then. And then some of them we're allied together. Like, but I guess what I'm not understanding is like, why is this such a thing amongst like black people? Like, nobody is saying Egypt wasn't a powerful nation back then. And then we know that they switched out. We know that when the Greeks took over, that they changed a lot of the statues. They changed a lot of the writings. Like, we know that, right? No one is saying that didn't happen, but we also know that not all of us are from Kemet. Are you there?
You said all of us are not from Kemet,
Right.
but so you do understand that I was reading this the other day. I was reading this the other day to a group of people in another stream that Africa, that land mass under Africa, is the closest to the core because of some modular material that's beneath the continent actually ties it closest to the core. So that has to be the only part of when you speak about Pangea, when you go back millions of years, that has to be the part of the continent. If there's material that's connecting it to the Earth's core, then that part of the landmass, which eventually became Africa, uh, when uh, when it was a landmass and other parts of that landmass started to break off and become these other continents, that has to tell you that that part of the continent, when that landmass began to form, had to be the first part of the landmass that was
Let's say
on the
it was,
planet.
and then
the
what?
fuck?
Let's say it was, and
If
then
that's the
what?
first part of the landmass that formed, then logically speaking, then the first
Sorry, my finger slipped just now. My bad.
then the
Unmute.
people that there had to been people in that area first. If that part of the mass was on the planet first, then the first group of people had to have come from that area, just speaking from a logical standpoint.
Okay, and then what?
Logical.
And
And then
then
what?
what? Yeah.
And then what the theory is, according to Francis Cresswellson and many others, that when albinos were birthed, they were cast off, and then they started civilizations elsewhere. They migrated toward
But
Europe
what
because
I'm
they couldn't
asking is,
take.
what do we do with this information? Like, what do you want us to do with this information?
So
Well, what
inconsistent with
the
genetics.
crux the crux of Western civilization has been to push forward the belief and the narrative that black people weren't the first people here. Black people weren't the originators
The first
of
people
many
where?
sciences
In
and education.
America?
So yes, in
We
America.
weren't. We were
All of that so
not.
you can say you from America? Motherfucker. You
Like,
know
how are
what?
you talking about Africa and then saying that um that black people are from America?
I didn't say that. Did I say that? I
I
didn't say
just
that.
asked you, but I just asked you where,
I'm
and I said
speaking on
America,
no.
and you said yes.
No, but I spoke. But we're here in America. Well, okay. Let's speak like I said. It wasn't society, but black people here are of African descent. I'm just speaking of the narrative that's being pushed that we didn't come up with nothing, that we weren't the first people on the planet.
But
That
I mean, like,
mindset.
it
I
doesn't
think
matter
that
to
mindset
argue
is.
about whether we were the first people on the planet, right? And yes, black people did invent things. Talk about the things that we did invent, right? Talk about black history. But going all the way back to Kemet and placing every black person in Kemet doesn't do us any good.
I think it does because if there's a narrative being pushed amongst our people, like think about a kid that comes up in a certain environment. He doesn't know why he's poor. He doesn't know why
It's not because of
his
Kemet.
let me finish. He doesn't know why his neighborhood is drug infested. He doesn't really know. All he
It's
knows
not
is he
because of
lives where he
Kemet.
lives, but subconsciously he believes that there are a group of people in charge, and he may start to develop an inferiority complex, which they love that they
But
love to push
how
the
does
fact that
Kemet
you.
stop that? Like, literally, there's so much more that you can talk about, right? There was a black man that invented the locomotive train. There was a black man that invented the first airplane that flew over 100 miles. There was a black man that invented the 18-foot refrigeration trailers for shipping foods. Like, there was a black woman that invented the security system. There was a black woman that invented laser eye surgery. Like, there's so much more,
But
right? That hold
can I
on,
respond?
hold on. There are so much more that you could talk about in today's time, right? Then going all the way back to Kemet, and then giving them this false identity that they come from ancient Egypt, because not every black person, every person that has African in their ethnicity comes from Egypt or Kemet. That's not true. And then you would be erasing the other history of people who come from the continent, as
I'm
if they
not.
did not exist within their own cultures or their own tribes.
I'm not saying everyone of African descent comes from Egypt, but listen, every civilization has a pinnacle of their civilization. For the Asians, it was the reign of somebody help me out, but you know what I mean. Every civilization has a pinnacle of when their people thrive, regardless if they were from the specific region where
Genghis
that happened or
Khan?
not. You have Genghis Khan when it come to Asians. You have the Mayan
What?
civilization. When you talk about what eventually became Hispanics, you have everyone has a pinnacle of their civilization. Egypt/Kemet during their reign is the pinnacle of African
But
civilization,
you don't
regardless
know.
if you
No, it's
listen,
not.
No, it's
regardless if
No,
not.
you
it's not. Don't tell
regard
me to listen. I don't have to listen to misinformation,
how's that
because
misinformation?
it's
Is
not
Egypt not the
Because it
pinnacle
true.
of African
is.
civilization?
It's not
Egypt is the
true.
pinnacle of Africa, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Egypt was a mighty
It's not.
nation. Yeah, Egypt was a mighty nation. Yes, it was. But there were other kingdoms that existed at the same time. They're just not in this book. Y'all focus on Egypt and Kemet because they're in the book.
That's not true. That's not true. There's too much proof. Now you can't deny this. Now, if you follow Egyptology, even the Egyptology, and most Egyptologists, the ones that people hold to acclaim are white people, and even they would tell you that when Egypt was in its prime, there wasn't a civilization that could be matched. And there's proof of this. There's proof of the. I could read. I could go through this book, and any Egyptologist or archaeologist you'll
I've
name
been
will
looking over
agree
this book,
that
and
I, I
everybody
can
is
I
saying
can
that this shit is
describe the
pseudo
first
history.
school on the planet to you. I'm talking about the structure of the building, what the classrooms obtain, the dress and the garb and the people who taught the shit. I could read that to you right now. I could describe that to you right now. I
This
have to
book is
thumb through
pseudo
this
history
book,
though. So why
but
would
they
we
have
care?
an actual description of the first school on the planet was in Egypt,
The
and there's
book is
proof
pseudo
that
history though. Why do we care?
you said what?
The book is pseudo history. Why would we care?
Why
That's
is it
like if I
pseudo
told you,
history
no,
though?
I
Why
can
is
tell
our
you, I
history
can
pseudo
tell you,
history?
I can tell you that cats wear hats because I had this book by a doctor. His name was Seuss. I can tell you that they wear hats.
Why is this
That's
pseudo
what you talking.
history? So this man, hey, listen. So
Because
this
it's not
man
backed by
dedicated
anything
20 years of his
historical,
life to the
dude.
book.
Duh.
Man dedicated 20 years of his life to the book. People believe he died
So
behind
did
writing the
Dr.
book,
Seuss. So did Dr.
but it's
Seuss.
pseudo history.
And cats still wear hats to this day from it.
But why is it pseudo history? Have you read it? Have you even heard of it?
Because people who actually do this shit for real in real life said that this shit is fake. Okay.
What's fake?
I'll read you an excerpt. How about that?
Go ahead, go
What
ahead.
you're
Yeah, go ahead.
Though,
saying,
Do some
though,
googles.
though one can appreciate what James was trying to do for African people in tradition, especially given the context in which this work was written, this is a book wrought with historical inaccuracies, sketchy dating, dubious referencing, and philosophical misunderstandings. James claims that Democritus did not write those books commonly attributed to him. Instead, he came to possess them from Anaxagoras, who had brought them back from the Egyptian library, a library sacked and looted during Alexander's conquest of Egypt, a campaign that Anaxagoras was part of. The author's claim here is altogether historically erroneous. Democritus was born 80 or so years before Anaxagoras and would have been dead 40 years before Anaxagoras' return to Ionia. Similar cases of glaring historical negligence are rife throughout James's book.
Who are you reading from? Who are you referencing? Who are you
Hold on.
sourcing that from?
Hold
What is
on.
your
Hold on. Also, answer his question. Then I want to ask him about a couple of kingdoms. Ask him, has he ever heard of these kingdoms?
Uh, Christian Erstad.
Have you ever heard of the Tishit culture, Jimmy?
Yeah, what you said?
Have you ever heard of the Tishit culture?
I heard of it. I've heard of it. Familiarize me with it.
It's a kingdom that exists at the same time that Kemet did
Okay, and
in
where were they
West
located?
Africa. In West Africa,
Okay, so why?
the Dahar, Tishit, and
I'm not
Ualauta
saying there
culture.
weren't
Hold on,
civilizations that.
because you're saying that you're saying it like every black person comes from ancient Kemet, and that Kemet was the only civilized nation on the continent. There's literally West and South Africa
It
as
was the
well.
most
Hold on,
advanced
I'm talking
civilization.
right now. You have the Dahar, Tashit, and Ualauta cultures. You have the Nok civilization, the Ghana civilization, the Mapung. I can't even say this name. Mapungbawe civilization, the Bantu kingdoms. There are multiple kingdoms that existed at the same time that Kemet did. The Benin kingdom. Like, all y'all think about is Egypt, and all y'all think about is North and East Africa. That's
Can I
it.
ask you a question?
There was a South and West Africa as well, and they existed, and they had thriving kingdoms that existed.
Okay, out of all those African civilizations you named, let me ask you a question. In which area were many people consider, especially archaeologists, as you won't speak
Benin
archaeology,
Kingdom.
in what region are
Benin
the most
Kingdom.
perfectly geometrically
The
built
Benin
structures
Kingdom.
located? Answer
The
that question.
Benin Kingdom. The Benin Kingdom would be an example of what you're looking for.
Where are the
Go read up on
pyramids?
them. Go read up on them.
Where are the pyramids?
Why do
Oh
you
my
need a
God.
pyramid? Is a pyramid the only way you know about intelligence?
No, but
These
no, but
people
it
were these people
signifies
were
it
crafting
signifies.
iron. They had schools that were teaching people, training people how to craft iron. They had so many artifacts that people literally museums right now in the West are filled with these artifacts. You're talking
They
about
like
a
the
pivotal time.
Smithsonian.
Stop talking. You're talking about a pivotal time in African history, and you know nothing about African history. You just want to tie yourself to the Arabs, right? This kingdom, right, built a wall that was greater than the wall of China, and it was torn down by the same people that you somehow want to give credit to. I don't understand how you somehow know about North Africa, but you know nothing about your own heritage, right? You're looking for pyramids to show intelligence. There were other ways that people literally they had street lights before the Europeans knew what street lights were. There's records of this. There are archaeological records of what they saw. They had street lights. The way they governed themselves was so freaking amazing that they had to go back and report to the queen and say these people are living like kings. These people are living with so much wealth. There's so much gold. There's so much everything. They're fine. Their criminal system is functioning. People are not committing crimes. People can live with their doors open. Read a book.
It
Literally, they're
took it
telling
took
the
them
queen this.
months.
They're
It took
telling
them
the
months to
queen,
infiltrate it. It
yes.
Yeah, it took them months to infiltrate it, especially because of that wall that they built. They
They,
couldn't
they,
even figure out how to get through it.
they're reporting to the queen. This is why I hate the whole morality conversation too. They're reporting to the queen that this civilization is working so well that there are no doors in their houses. They don't need them because there are no crimes being committed. That is how amazing that those people were. And there were other civilizations that existed as well that were running just as good. Like, come the fuck on.
Okay, we comparing them building a wall that you said is phenomenal, which I can agree with. I can agree. We're comparing that to a group of people who actually jump started Greek philosophy. They
Because that's where they
understood
Who the
crafted
everything
fuck
things.
gives
originated
a
What
from
are you
damn
us.
talking about?
about
Who
Greek
gives a fuck about the
philosophy?
Greeks?
Because that
That's
because
where
that's
they
what the
went
world
to.
knows, and that's what
No,
the
no,
world
it's
Did
looks
you
like.
ask them
not.
why they didn't go anywhere else?
Oh,
Did
did
you
you ever
ask them
consider
what
the
if they went anywhere else on that continent?
Wait, we you
doesn't
talking
matter to
about?
him?
Who, the
It's the proximity
philosophers?
to whiteness. It's the
Yes.
Who,
proximity to
Aristotle
whiteness
and
that
them?
matters.
Well, there's
Did
no
they go
record.
anywhere else
There's
on
no
that
record of them
continent?
doing so.
Like, shut up.
There's no
It's that
record of them doing
right. It's the
so.
proximity to whiteness. That's all he cares about.
Exactly.
You know who Pythagoras is? You know who Pythagoras is?
A white
I don't
man.
give a fuck. I don't
No,
care.
we don't know
Yeah,
who
why
I
are you
don't
Pythagoras
quoting
care.
these
is.
white people? Are you
What
serious right now?
mathematical
I'm sorry, I cannot. Y'all hate yourself so fucking much.
So
I
Yes.
fucking
cannot.
much.
Like literally the
Don't think we
only
didn't catch that. Do the Googles shade that he tried to throw.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dumb as fuck and sit here and say
That's
something
just
and then when asked
pathetic.
about it, just be like, "Oh, well, I read a book one time." That's where.
He said, "I'm familiar with it, but
Yeah.
familiarize me."
I'm familiar, but give me
I've
the
heard
Google
about it, but
overview.
familiarize me. Shut up. You never heard about it.
I swear that's like one of the guys that be messaging me talking about you ain't teaching our true history. Motherfucker, if you wanna be from Egypt. Don't fucking try to
Right.
force me to say I'm from fucking Egypt.
All right, because you look like Rick Ross and a thumb at the same time. I don't know how you do that.
The Thumbkins. The thumbs from
The
What
from
about
Shark
the
Boy and
exactly.
Greeks?
Lava
The,
Girl.
Like what?
yeah.
The Greeks, the Greeks. What about the Greeks? Shut the fuck up.
Like it's crazy. Kemet was a mighty nation, yes. Were they African? Yes. But that does not mean that every black person comes from Kemet. God damn. There were plenty of amazing kingdoms on the continent. Just do some work. Like fucking West Africa and South Africa existed during the same time that Kemet existed. Shit.
Literally, you guys are reading that book backwards. The destruction of black civilization is not telling you that somehow the people that migrated during the breeding farms and like the slave, the Arab slave trade and all of that. He's not telling you that those people that migrated then became the modern day West Africans, South Africans, and East Africans, or whatever. He's just telling you that they now integrated into the people that were there. Yes, the land that they, eventually occupied were inhabitable. That's why you see a lot of North Africans, right? Today you see like a lot of, I don't know, like the Fulani culture a little bit is like influenced by that, what those cultures would look like in that time, right? So when they migrated, the Fulani people would be like kind of tied to them a little bit. The land that the Fulani people occupy is desert land, right? That's what the that's what the book is telling you. It's not telling you that that's how those people originated.
And it's talking about the Hurrians and the Hissox and stuff. Like y'all are taking that to think that they talking about you. What's up, Benny?
Hey, thank you for letting me up, Thinker.
Of
When
course.
I just wanted to say, like, I get his point that yeah, Egyptians might have had the like stuff figured out, like the Pythagorean theorem before Pythagoras, but we know that, like, we know that other civilizations probably had like extra stuff, like that doesn't, you know, like I don't understand why that takes a like why we're ranking, you know, civilizations uh based off of what is like still found to like today, like not to mention.
I think it's because Egypt is mentioned in this book. I honestly think is that, and because the Greeks took it over, and because they did change out some stuff. So I think it just feels like they replaced black with white, and so they think that that is like the original place where black history is, where the start of black is or African is. I think that's what they think.
Yeah, it's just it takes away, and like I mean, just as a historian, like we're just like wrapped over the head, you know, with there's a lot that we don't have nowadays. Stuff gets colonized, stuff gets erased from the you know, the archives, And it's just, we're aware of all of that.
I don't think they think we are.
Yeah.
And then like there's so much black history that we can, teach our children about today. Our ancestors did amazing things before they were enslaved. They did amazing things after slavery was, even during slavery. Like
Mhm.
they were still doing shit while slavery was still happening. They were creating
Seen the
stuff.
cotton gin.
What do you say, Selena?
I said they were inventing stuff like the cotton gin while they were still there.
Exactly. Like there is no reason to go back to Kemet. That like to go to Kemet and be like, that's your history, especially when you don't know if you come from North Africa. Could there be some black people in America that have ancestry or genealogy back to ancient Egypt? Sure. But no, every black person does not come from North Africa or East Africa. And the majority of us most likely come from West or South Africa.
Yeah, and it was never. It's not always been called Kemet either. Like, why not look at, oh, when it was called Kemet, this was the people there. Then when it was called this, these were the people there. Why not look into that history and then realize that, oh, maybe I should, I know these people's history. Maybe I should go look into my history because this Loki has nothing to do with me.
Right. And I agree with 2905 that a lot of our ancestors' ideas were stolen. But today we don't have to we don't have to accept that we have the history behind their patents, right? We know what they created.
Right.
And
That's what I'm trying to say too, is like, uh, like, don't make up another pseudo history, to like make up for something. Like, let's just figure out what the truth is.
yeah, like, and I'm getting tired of the hoteps messaging me like, I'm not going to teach in here that all black people come from Africa. If that's something you want to teach on your live, do that on your live. Don't come in here trying to force me to do that shit just because you see that we have a large platform in here.
Yeah, but only three people come to my live.
Exactly, Gamma. When it was called Akebulan, it had its own history. Like, when it was just black people inhabiting it, right? For example, right, when it was just black people inhabiting it, there was no official name for that landmass. People just lived there as community, and that was it. Like, you just knew that other people existed as well. We traded amongst each other, and then when other people started to come, the names started to change. So why not look into that history and then realize, okay, maybe I should pay attention to the things that my people have done, because like you will see that that really has nothing to do with you.
Why is it so quiet?
It just feels like trading one addiction for another, like you were saying earlier, Rhea.
Yeah.
Like you just one pseudo history for another pseudo history, and I don't think that that's the way we should go.
It's so
So have
crazy
you
because it
considered?
seemed like they want to be Israelites, they want to be Native Americans, they want to be Egyptians, but they don't want to be West Africans.
Right.
Like, and it's like they
Like,
think West Africans didn't exist. Like they just all of a sudden just popped up. Or
are
West
we
Africa
beneath
is a
them?
lie. Like West Africa is a lie. Right. Maybe this is why Congo doesn't get as much uh um
Attention.
advocacy that the Philistines got, uh uh Palestine got, because you think it was, they just lied, they're fake, they just popped up out of nowhere. They existed. Right. Or Sudan. Right. They
Right.
existed. I don't ever hear y'all talking about y'all from uh um the kingdom of uh Kush.
Kush. Exactly. These
Yeah.
are really good examples that you're
Church
saying.
existed in, yeah. Like, because they don't see past the whole like pyramid, right? It's like, oh my God, building a pyramid is amazing. I gotta associate myself with those people.
Right.
Goodness.
They had child kings.
Everybody had child kings. Damn near every nation had child king.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a misogyny thing where like pyramids are like, like the size, it's all about size that matters or something. I don't know.
Mm.
I think it's because Egypt has been given so much
Coverage.
yeah, like Egypt is more popular than, the history of the other nations. And then they see it as because they colonized and Egypt was colonized too, even though they say they weren't colonized, or Ethiopia wasn't colonized. They were colonized.
Sure were.
They were colonized.
Mm-hmm.
They were literally occupied for almost a decade. They were colonized.
Like literally, it was Ethiopia was called Ethiopia at first, which is a Greek word before it was changed to Ethiopia. Egypt is Hebrew, is Mitzrayim. Like
Oh yeah,
literally.
Kareem. Yeah, that was in my Hebrew flashcards.
Yeah. Like I don't like I guess they see West Africa and South Africa as being like colonized by the British, and I don't know, I guess they see it as being weak, that you don't want to be associated with West Africa. You're telling yourselves that the slave trade never happened, right? Like you're erasing the history of our people because you feel ashamed, because you're not proud of where you come from, and now you don't even know where the fuck you need to go. It makes no sense. I hate those conversations. Don't bring them back in here.
Does that
Benny, did
come
you
up?
have anything else?
We
No,
heard you when
that
you
was just
said
me.
it.
Does that come up quite a bit? Like you get a lot of people that try and say you should be teaching this and
They've
that.
been messaging me. They've been DMing me, calling me dumb bitch, dumb, sending me YouTube videos, saying that I'm spreading misinformation, and all I'm doing is deconstructing the Bible. Like they want me to be telling black people that this is our history. It's not. I get it from the black Hebrew Israelites. I get it from the Hoteps. I get it from both.
That's concerning. I don't know. There's just something's up. That's all I wanted to come up and say was just that. Yeah, is don't discredit because a pyramid isn't still standing. That a civilization wasn't great. You know. A really truly great civilization might not be known of nowadays on purpose, and that's just that. Like it sucks, but that's just the truth. And we gotta accept that. We can't just like make up, you know, all this pseudo history and say that everybody came from Egypt or Kemet or anything like that. You gotta just realize like, yeah, there's stuff we probably will never know.
There's so much more. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so much more, even just here in America, that our ancestors did. What I don't understand is why they want to fucking skip that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I love your question number one too. I want to know what this anti-Christian bias is. So I'm a
No
drop
one
back.
knows yet.
I love you guys.
Love you too,
Me
Benny.
too.
Yeah, and then,
They
Get back,
glamorized
Benny.
Egypt and Ethiopia, and they
Yes.
always made it seem like, the little commercials they had of people from West Africa. So it's not as appealing, I guess.
Like
And they don't want to
literally,
do their research, so those
there
are the images that they're left with.
there's literally a guy that's teaching them that Harriet Tubman was made up by the government to give black people a hero to look to.
I heard that.
What has the
and
government
I
ever
wanted
do
to
anything
throw
for
up on
us?
them. Exactly.
Gosh.
Why?
I've been to her house. She existed.
Exactly. Like there is literally documentation where she had to fight to get her husband's pension when he died. But the problem is that y'all don't know her real name. Harriet Tubman was not
Mm,
her real name.
Exactly.
absolutely.
Thinker.
And she did all that for y'all to do this nonsense.
And, like it's crazy. What'd you say? Also,
Her real name was Thinker.
no, her real name was Amarita
Yeah.
Ross. Yeah, her real name was Amarita Ross, and they literally have an act in the Library of Congress where they had to enact an act of Congress for her to get her pension when her husband died, and she signed it. She signed it, Harriet Tubman, but it was written out to Amarita Ross.
Everybody in the chat is just speaking my mind, okay? Those are people that need to be left behind, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
Like that
We
stuff be
wouldn't be
making me
dealing with
so mad.
right. Then we wouldn't be dealing with the ones that are now downing K Dot's performance at the Super
right,
Bowl.
right.
I did there's a video on my page where I go through the for sale slips where the midwife was paid when she was born, the when her and her brother were sold, when her brother killed their master, like all of that, the court cases, all of that, there's documentation of all of that. And then for them to get on here and try to say, oh, she was a made up figure to give black people hope, what the fuck? And then why do y'all think that these motherfuckers wanted to give black people hope and hope to run away from slavery when they were creating whole ass mental diagnosis to say that if a black person tried to run away, that meant that they had a mental disorder? That doesn't make it make sense.
They can't.
Take a
Don't come
break.
in here and expect me to teach the bullshit, because I'm not.
Guess who's back in the box?
I don't know why.
I done
Like I'm
told you that you are not coming back in here.
But have y'all
Stop
considered that we was
requesting.
kings?
We consider what?
We was kings. Y'all ever considered that?
I
But the truth,
blame.
but here's the crazy thing: there actually were princesses and princes that were brought over through the slave trade.
Thank
There
you.
actually were.
Like
Like
one of
literally, Virginia had to the whole state had to come and fight for one to be allowed to go back home. What were you getting ready to say, Ria?
I was gonna say, one of the ships that the people jumped off from, there was a princess among them. Most of those people were Igbo people, and even till today, there's some communities that still like reference her.
I should this book. Hold on, let me show y'all. This book tells you a lot of their history. And they write this book themselves. Hold on. And the book is in my bio. In the folder that says Black History, there's a folder with a lot of books there about Black history, going all the way back to West Africa. Hold on, let me get to that list.
Like when I say they're from the same Caucasus Mountain, there's a reason why I say that. Obviously, they would, publicize the people that are closer in proximity to them and look more like them. And I mean, duh, even the Cleopatra that they keep talking about, Why are they not going a little further back into history and tell you about those people? Because I know that's who he's obsessed with at this point. He's just looking at all those gold and all the Egyptian women, and that's all you obsess about. Because I don't know why you're so stuck over there.
And then trying to say that King James was black.
Right.
Like, that's tripping me out. Hold on, let me see.
He saw the Remember the Time music video and thought that was us.
Remember the time.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, and Iman.
Let me see which one. Yeah, this one right here. It's called Negro Literature, a Cyclopedia of Thought. This book is in the Library of Congress. I'm gonna have to, let me see if it'll open up for me. This book here. Let me see if I can go to the front. It was written by D.W. Cope, and I love his dedication. Let me see if I can read it to y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Can y'all see that? It's making it smaller. Hold on. Can y'all see it?
A little
It's
bit.
not as big as it'll go. But y'all should read this book. This was written by them after the Emancipation Proclamation, and it tells about all the things that they did right before the Reconstruction era. But his dedication says, to all persons of whatever race in whatever section of our country who in any way contributed in the 19th century to the financial, intellectual, moral, and spiritual elevation of the Negro. The editor dedicates this book with the ardent hope that before this century shall have ended, the Negro, through his own manly efforts, aided by his friends, shall reach that point in the American civilization where he will be recognized and treated as any other American citizen. And all they wanted at that time was to get their own shit and to be treated equal. And that's what they worked on. And they became doctors. They became lawyers. They became inventors. They owned farms. They built schools. They became authors. One of the young ladies in here was the first, I think it's her, the first to even master trigonometry. There are so many stories in here that you can learn about our ancestors and what they did despite what the fuck they had to go through. Like, you don't have to go and make Egypt your history.
But the pyramids.
If anybody wants to know, this list of books is in my bio. I can't make it bigger, but the whole list is in my bio if you're interested. Okay, we'll bring up the next person. Y'all are welcome. If y'all have other books that y'all want to add to the list, just send it to me and I'll add them to the list.
Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss.
Shut up, Oso.
You idiot.
He's a doctor.
I know them cats be wearing hats, though.
Ronald Smith, how are you? Ronald?
Oh, I didn't mean to
Russell.
come up.
Oh, you didn't mean to? No worries.
No, my phone was in my back pocket.
No worries. We'll take you down. Have a good one, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's up, Chicago?
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and good afternoon, thinker.
Chicago.
Buddy.
Cooking with Chicago. Cooking with Chicago. Mm. Y'all gotta
Why
watch
do
the
you
video,
like this?
though. I can't be shaking it for free for y'all, for you demonic demons. But anyway, I was just definitely checking. Have you are you good? Y'all got her
Yeah,
over
I'm
here.
good. Now I'm hungry. I need to eat now. I'm a little scared to eat, but my stomach is growling. Ah.
I'm gonna get some soup. Thank y'all for the gifts. Get some soup and stuff like that. You slaving over these hot Hebrew books and stuff like that. So being punished by the Lord for going against him like this.
Oh, I guarantee you, they probably thought that I came down with a sickness because they prayed for it.
Just to humble you. No, it wasn't to hurt you. It was to humble you. There's a difference. All right. So we
What?
want to make sure that we
Oh,
humble.
don't talk about gumbo, and you know damn well I can't eat no gumbo yet.
I'm talking about
You said
humble. Not,
humble.
yeah.
You are hungry.
Yeah, she
No,
delusional.
no.
Who?
Oh, you talking about the
Oh,
combo?
somebody.
Y'all.
Okay,
Cutery, yeah,
somebody in the.
Cutery
Okay.
said some mild gumbo roux with hit, and I'm
I
like,
don't know
I
anybody named
can't eat
Celery.
that yet, huh?
I don't know nobody named Celery up here. Don't be, it's
I
okay.
said, I said cutery.
Yeah, cuticles and stuff. They hurt when you get a hangnail. I get it. But
Charcuterie.
right, right.
Whatever.
Oh,
Hannah, someone did say that to, I think it was Mezzo. But I mean, if you come in here every day and say in 3 days, does it really mean shit?
well, look, since we already talked about numbers and fear of the numbers, even though Mezzo didn't answer my question of what number he fears, so I can make a video about that. And, if anybody got any other fears of, any fears that you have, please let me know, so I can make it educational purposes. I want to be like the old Murray show when that lady was afraid of olives and stuff like that. So
I'm afraid of the number 69,
mm,
and I probably need like immersion therapy or something like that.
I'll see you personally for that one. But
Okay,
anyway, okay, good. I'll get that fear right out of you, my brother.
appreciate it.
This
Mm.
probably don't platform y'all at the same time
I'm driving. I was driving. Just,
anymore.
making sure that we think it's still recovering. She's like, "Oh, guys, I'm sick on the Super Bowl and everything." I'm like, "Oh, thinking, oh, Lord, I think I hallucinating. The Lord tried to get me, but I knew that God, you
Oh,
ain't gonna let me
whatever,
down."
Chicago.
And I said, "You can fight it. I'll fight you, the God. I'll fight you till the morning. Get that breath."
I didn't watch that damn Super Bowl. My ass slept all day and threw up all day. I wasn't
We,
studying it.
we not like us. They not like us. Poor thing.
Oh, Precious said get better soon. Oh,
Oh, tell Precious. Tell Pressure. I said thank you.
you said thank you, baby.
Chicago, for to break somebody else up. You done?
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Whatever healing
Goodbye,
rocks you need, I hope. What you say, Rhea?
nothing. Goodbye.
Oh, man, let me call frozen water.
Oh my
Who
God.
is frozen water?
Ignore him, please.
Who is he calling frozen water though?
I don't know. Ignore him. He calls me Ice Princess or some Ice Queen. So ignore him.
He made me hungry as fuck. I'm mad at him. Now my stomach growling. Oh, that sounds good, Gracie.
Is that good? That doesn't sound good.
Kale soup, yeah.
Just like kale.
Hmm.
That don't sound
Sometimes it
too
has like
appealing.
rice in it. Man,
You
man.
don't know what you're missing.
I guess.
Okay, they didn't connect.
It's black on man. Is that man?
That's what it looked like. Who is man?
The bonnet man?
Who is that?
The dude that he wears bonnets and run he is alive. He wears a bonnet. He's called Man.
Oh, I don't know. I hate when people ask, what is this live about? What the fuck?
That's the AI overview. They told you.
Or just fucking read the post.
That part. Today was special, Ivy. She normally goes live at 11 p.m. Central, Sunday through Thursday until 10 a.m.
Like, you can overdo it, but how many are you taking?
Michelob.
Skip all that.
I think
I think
overdoing it to me
we've
is
talked
like,
to Michelob before, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Is Michelob Christian or deconstructing?
I think somebody was just asking him how many drugs he
Real.
turn the mic back on. Hold on. Somebody
Michelob
turn the
Ultra.
mic back on.
Michelob, are you there?
What kind of candy are you consuming today?
Hello, Mick.
Hello, Michelob. Okay, then
Melanie, you didn't say what's being discussed. You said what this live is about. That's two different things, my love. You are excused.
Some people are just so fucking entitled. I swear.
I think it should be illegal to have the name Melanie and not have no melanin.
What? Also,
You see? Okay.
I'm just saying.
the shit that come out of your mouth. Goodness.
Now you see why I used to get in trouble a lot as a kid.
I'm sure you did. Okay, this person isn't connecting. If you're in the guest box and you're wanting to come up, can you please comment so that we bring you up? Look, Melanie said, make sure y'all have the right one now.
Sorry, Melanie.
Well, you do have
she got
melanin.
she got melanin. She fine.
Right.
Delamora, hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You had me worried. I was like, I was glad to see you back on.
I'm sorry.
No problem. No, it was just like a minor thing. I remember you had talked to, I think you call her auntie. We call her auntie.
Auntie Charlene?
Yeah, I was trying to tell you, like, I have a credit for like an airline called Breezeway. I don't know if it goes by her way that I can give you if you want. I can try to transfer y'all the credit.
Oh,
Because I know she
wow.
wanted to come.
Oh, wow. That would be so awesome. Are you coming?
So nice.
No, y'all ain't let me know when it was.
We've been talking
Remember?
about it for a year.
You probably closed
No,
before
I
you
just,
came into the
yeah, I just
yeah.
came in, remember, a couple of months, like, before New Year's, so I don't,
Oh. She opened it
I'll
back
check.
up for everybody, though.
You
Did
did?
she?
She did. She said she told them to see the post in the Discord in one of the
Are you in the fish
How
tank
much?
Discord?
Yeah. We don't say the stuff out loud, like the
Okay,
dates or the
okay,
destination out loud
no
for
problem.
safety
I
reasons, but it's
know.
on the Discord.
Okay, I'll check it out, in reference to that. But yeah, I can, because I know she really wanted to go, and I was like, well, it's no Breeze Bay where I stay at anymore. So I was like, maybe because it does expire in June. It's like I think it'll cover at least one way, depending on how much it is. But we don't know now with everything. But I remember I couldn't. When I went to Louisiana, I couldn't use the one way because I went late for some reason. Like I came an hour early, but they have a cutoff time, but they still gave me the credit. So I don't know if like if I'm able to like if I am able to like she can probably open an account with Breezeway and I probably could transfer it to her. So that could probably just cover one way and I guess she can do the one way back.
Okay, I'll check with her.
So
What is Breezeway? I've
inbox
never
me.
heard of that. Is that that's an airline?
Yes, it's like in the same category as like Frontier. Like you just get there, you don't have that extra amenities like a TV or snacks. You just get there and get back for like a
Oh,
cheaper
okay.
rate. And they're new, like they trying to like branch out, but they're new. So I was like, yeah, maybe I could give that to because I've been
It's
trying.
so
I
sweet
know
of you.
you're welcome. I just inbox me and then we'll try to like like set up a, like if we can talk, and then I try to walk her through it because I know she wanted to come, and you were like, so I was like, let me see if I could help too.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. That's all I had to say. I was like, let me, because I was gonna forget to inbox you, so I was like, since y'all, I know sometimes at this time you try to clear the life, so I was like, maybe let me get through.
But yeah, definitely send me a message and then let me know if you're gonna come too.
Okay, when are you
It's
allowed to
on
say
the
the
it's on
date?
the Discord. Yeah, we'll want to say it out because we.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's on the Discord though.
Okay, all
So
right.
close, please.
All right.
And by the way, I didn't put the link of the bar because I got chopped. So I was like, girl, I'm
You
not
got
gonna.
chopped?
Yeah, so like I looked at my video, so I guess the judges was looking for something a little more different, and since I guess they wanted more attitude because like a lot of female figures walked this time, and it was giving more attitude. So that's who won, actually, a female figure, and I was like, okay, I guess for Philly, like it wasn't my night, but I am walking again in Virginia Beach, so I'll be
When
there
is that?
March 1st. So
Okay.
I'll sing out. It's for like a trans. I'm not trying to say too much because you know you got crazies, but like yeah. So
Well, we hope that you win the next one.
yeah, because it's $500, so I need that.
Okay.
I need the other one was 300, so I wasn't feeling that bad, but this one's 500, so yeah. But I will inbox you to so we can set up something and go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Thank
And
you
I'm
so
glad you're
much,
feeling better. You're
Delamara.
welcome. Right.
All right. That's sweet.
Oh yeah. And for those of you who are interested in going, it's going to be February 32nd. And we're hosting it on Mars. So make sure you're there. February
Oh my
32nd. Don't
god.
be late.
I was born on February 32nd.
Me too.
Because I get it though, because you're outside of space and time, but not really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Gracie. Gracie said, "Oh, so please."
That's not what she said. She said also.
I think the whole trip gonna be on CPT Black.
Man,
We all gonna be on CPT.
my stomach gonna be hurting. I know it.
Are you getting there the day before?
It depends, because we're not like airplaning, so
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna kind of do like a trip type thing, and like a because I'm coming. Well, I'm coming with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm coming with everybody. So
Okay. I want to make sure I'm not gonna be the only one there a day ahead of time.
yeah, but I'm going. I don't know how many people are at the hotel that we're at, so I'm like, I don't want to just be there by myself. If I'm there by myself, I'm checking out.
Right. Exactly. Let's see. Everybody I bring up. You going early? Good, Nikita. Good. Thank you. Q, Q, I said your name right the first time. Did I say it right the first time? Q Q Q. Hold on. Qtari? Qarty? Qarty? Qarty. Thank you. Dang, everybody that I bring up is not connecting, y'all.
Well, you are down from 30 to 5 now, so that looks good.
Yeah. Well, the 30 was before it went down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We had some good conversations going. That was my fault. Tari?
Hey, Tari.
Is Tari asleep?
I don't know. I do
Yeah.
know that Tari visited my live not too long ago and said that I helped her with her deconstruction. So I got one tally mark.
Oh wow, Mezzo Oso's in the game. Yay.
Sent him a screenshot of it and asked him to give me my tally.
What did you help her with, Oso?
Kind of getting over the whole the shit is real aspect of it.
Oh, that's what's up.
Or yeah, it's in the books.
Good for
And
you,
then
dude.
Xena May tried to sell me off to her. That was
That
the context of the video that I posted.
oh, about the telephone number.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, y'all. Everybody that I bring up is crashing out. Let's see. We got about an hour and 15 minutes left. If we can get some good conversations going. If not, then we'll call it quits until 11, until later tonight. Then
Okay.
I'll go eat some chicken soup. Cody, this is my boy. Cody be filling the Discord up with good information. Cody done checked out too. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm tripping, but I can't find this form on this spreadsheet.
What form?
The form we're supposed to fill out.
It's not on the spreadsheet.
If you click,
Is it on the spreadsheet? It's not
yeah,
on the
there's a
spreadsheet, right?
hyperlink. There's a hyperlink on the spreadsheet. There's one for payment and there's one with the form.
Oh, I thought I found it in the Discord. Boca?
There's something that says click here in the message.
Oh, okay. Oh, the link is in the column on the far right, Rhea. Boca? Is it Boca?
Yes, it is.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can I get your age? And then let me know if you are a believer, if you are deconstructing, or if you are an atheist.
53.
Okay.
I'm not. Well, it depends. I'm probably all three at times. Depends on the day you're talking to me.
So it sounds like you might be deconstructing.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to say, I don't know. If you want to say that, that's cool. And what was the third one? You had said something.
Well, if you say that you're all three, right, it's saying that you're flipping back and forth between being a believer or being a non-believer. So that means that you're really in the middle and you're deconstructing.
Well, I don't believe in anything. I know. I pretty much know certain things. Belief theories have can change at any moment due to new information. So
Regardless if you're saying that you know, at some point you're saying that you no longer know. If you say you're all three.
Well, yeah. Well, let me rephrase that then. I know, and evolving and deconstructing is two different things. But
I didn't ask if you were evolving though, Boca. I just need to know, Boca. Do you know this God exists, or do you not know the God exists? Which one?
Yeah, God exists, but God is inside.
Is it okay? Is it the God in this Bible, Boca?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, we are talking about the God in the Bible.
Okay, no, I do not believe in the God in the Bible.
Okay, the conversations on the board, do you see that? They're all about Christianity and the God in the Bible. They're not about, they're not about the God that you believe or know that you are, or they're not about, the universe being the God or anything like that. Okay.
Oh, so I'm not qualified to chat in here because of that, or what?
If you do talk, it has to be about one of the topics on the board.
Okay. It's Christianity. Well, yeah, let's talk about number 3.
Okay, go ahead.
I do believe it's a gang belief theory, because you're forced to believe in a particular thing in order to fit in, and almost you have to pay dues to some degree, whether it's take an oath, baptize, or whatever the case may be. To if you want to become part of a church, you have to act accordingly, dress accordingly, follow the rules, and that's similar to a gang. It's organized. It's an organized crime. Like God in the Bible is a serial killer. He killed over 3.5 million people. That you have to take that in and understand that, you know what, he did this, but he can do it because he's God. That's a belief theory. That's gang rhetoric, and that's nonsense.
I agree, 100%. One of the things that I don't understand with believers is why they need other people to believe in their God. If they say that it's a personal thing or a personal relationship, why do they get so violent and hostile when we, say that we don't believe, or we host lives questioning the text or the history of the text? If it's supposed to be personal, why do they get so violent about it?
Yes, yes. Now, it's funny. Right before I jumped on here, I was going back and forth with someone about this very thing. We were talking about Constantine. If you know anything about Constantine, he was a Roman general, and before he became a Roman general, he went over to Africa to study under the two sun schools. Got kicked out of both of them. Took the little bit that he knew of, came back, went to war. Right before the morning before the war, he told his soldiers to write a particular sign on the shield, called it Christianity, went and killed children, fathers and mothers, villages, the whole shot, and took over certain parts of Rome. And from there, you get your Christian ideology moving and spreading like cancer. That sounds like a gang to me.
I'm
That
sorry.
sounds
Can you say that again? You said he did what now?
Constantine was a Roman emperor or general, excuse me. And the morning before they were to go to war, he had a vision while laying in bed.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
okay, right. So what I'm saying is that the fact that they would go and pillage a community based under a particular ideology or belief theory, whatnot, is actually the way a gang operates.
Yeah, he made them put the gyro on their army
Yes,
suits. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely, if you know about the Christian Crusades, those were brutal. They'll never mention those or let those out the archives because people would begin to look at each other like they crazy. It was it gets deep, you know.
Yeah, but you're right. They never talk about it because it was Christians or believers in this God killing other believers in this God. Like non-believers weren't involved in that shit.
Right, right, absolutely, absolutely. And I didn't, and when you had asked me the question earlier, where you were explaining God in the Bible and God, and do I believe? I mean, well, honestly, with as crazy as it might sound, in the Bible, it actually gives you an explanation of it. Like the Bible's like telling the truth and a lie all at the same time, because it tells you if you seek within, you shall find everything you need to find. But then on the flip side, it tells you outside is everything you should follow. But the fact that we even give it a gender, everybody now sees God as a he this, he that, he that. I'm saying it's like a roller coaster ride, and you got people who go to war and fight about a very thing they don't understand. But it seems it's all trickery to me. But I mean, if you just read it from just a literal perspective, it makes absolutely no sense at all from the very beginning. And God said there was no one there to know what God said because man wasn't even created then. So how can anyone give you a breakdown of what happened within the first 6 days? And on the seventh day, did Adam and Eve arrive as children or 26-year-olds with belly buttons? And how did they get a belly button? You know what I mean? It's like you can break this. It's ridiculous. And the funny thing about it is that some of the most intelligent people I know of, they can break down a variety of different things, but it comes to this here, they just have a tendency to believe, and that's a programming that for some reason can't be debunked, and it probably will never be debunked. But that's part of the problem when you deal with any issue pertaining to any group of people is the belief theory, because if your program is based on a jaded foundation, everything that sits on top of that is going to slip and collapse anyway. Relationships, politics, family, da da da, because it's based on bullshit. So
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't have anything extra to add to it. I don't know if any of the other hosts have any questions to ask.
No, no.
No, I thought he was gonna talk about what the dude was talking about for a second.
Oh. Well, I definitely thank you for coming up, Boca. I hope you have a great rest of the day, okay?
Oh, definitely. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
All right.
I think we might go ahead and cut it off here. I'm gonna clear out the guest box and then cut it off instead of staying on to 3. Um, I think everybody is at work right now,
Okay.
or in their normal other
Live.
lives around this time, huh?
Yeah.
I said I was about to say that in other lives.
And then just come back at 11 o'clock tonight. You took a personal day today. I hope you're getting some rest, Annika. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. We'll be back at 11 o'clock, our normal time tonight, and then hopefully we can get some good conversations going like we had this morning. And again, that was my fault that the live shut down earlier, y'all. I apologize, but thank y'all for those of you that came back. I'm happy that we were able to connect today, and I'll see y'all later on tonight.
Bye.
Bye,
Good
y'all.
night.
Much love.
Bye. Much love. Thank you, Gracie.